What's going on, everybody? This is Pastor Shay, aka Chaplain G, coming back at y'all with another word of encouragement for today. Man, it's Friday. I ain't got no job. I ain't got nothing to do. Now it's Friday, and I hope y'all doing good, man. Today's words of encouragement, man, I want to talk to y'all about forgiveness. It's hard. It's an easy word to say. It's easy for us to fake it. But to actually put forgiveness into practice it's a hard adventure, man, and it's not for the faint of heart. Because typically the way we walk through forgiveness, right? We'll say, yeah, I forgive a person, but then we act in a way that kind of severs our relationship with them. And we're really sophisticated about, yeah, I'll forgive, but I'll never forget. We say stuff like that. And I hear that it's probably the safest way to forgive someone, that you can forgive them. You can walk in a way that, like, when you think about that person, you're not emotionally driven by what they did to you. But it doesn't always keep the relationship intact. And man, the way the world is now, if we just walk through life and every time somebody does something to us that we don't like, and we start severing relationships because people have hurt us, we're going to be lonely when we get old. And it doesn't work in the long term. And so when I approach the Bible and I see the way Jesus taught, he's actually trying to encourage people to learn how to forgive in a way that maintains the relationship. And man, it's tough. And so he was teaching one time, and he's teaching on forgiveness, and he's giving instruction for it. And old Pete comes up and he says, so Jesus, how often should I forgive somebody that has wronged me? Should I forgive them 7 times? And in his mind, so this is where Pete was always like, he's always sticking his foot in his mouth. Because like in the Old Testament, according to like Jewish law and stuff like that, if you forgave a person 3 times for something, you were doing it right. And so Peter's trying to be extra. And he's like, yo, how about I go 7? And Jesus says, I'll put it like this. Matthew 18, verse 21. It says, then Peter came up and said to him, Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many as 7 times? Jesus said to him, I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. Jesus is saying, man, I'm not asking you to keep a tally. I'm not asking you to do the way the Old Testament law says to do. I'm telling you to maintain the relationship. Human beings have this propensity to hurt others. It's just how we roll, man. And if you are going to be in a relationship with another human being, you have to expect to get hurt. In the same way, they have to expect to get hurt by you. And so forgiveness is understanding where you stand and where the other person stands, and understanding, like, I might actually do worse to the other person. Of course I have to forgive them. The way I would treat them is probably worse than what they treat me. And so Jesus launches into this story about this. He uses a parable about an unforgiving servant. And so he says there's this king who's trying to settle his accounts, and he runs down the line and he finds this dude that owes the equivalent today, like $6 billion. Like, it's an astronomical amount. And so he calls the dude and he's like, I have to arrest you and your whole family. I gotta get that money back. This is a king. And the dude's like, please don't do that. I'll pay back what I owe. Just give me time. And the king, out of pity for the person, wipes the whole debt clean. So he's no longer in debt for $6 billion. Not 6 bills, $6 billion. In case y'all don't speak the slang I'm trying to talk. He owed $6 billion and got the slate wiped clean. So he leaves out of the presence of the king. Obviously, he's probably ecstatic. Him and his family are out of trouble and all this other kind of stuff, right? He rolls up on one of his coworkers who owes him something like 20 grand or something like that. And he chokes the dude. He's like, "Where's my money?" Matter of fact, I'm calling the law. So he calls the law to have the guy who owes him 20,000 to be sent to jail. And the king is like, "Wait, I just forgave you 6 bill and you hemmed him up over 20,000? No, go back, go to jail, and you'll stay there until you pay off the $6 billion." And Jesus is like, so is everybody in that same state who doesn't forgive his brother. Jesus is essentially saying, like, the way you live your life and the way you treat others and how wrong you treat them, it's racking up debt. And don't ever be in a position where you feel like your stuff is not more damaging than somebody else's stuff. Jesus is like, no, yours is, if it's not more, it's just as. And so walk through this life with forgiveness, Jesus is essentially saying. And I think that's what he meant by, like, if you want to criticize somebody else, make sure to take the big old tree out of your eye before you talk about somebody else's sawdust. I think that's where that comes from. That kind of thought, like, consider your stuff worse. That way, when you approach other people, you can walk in forgiveness. And man, if we lived life like that, if we lived life in a way that was like, when we got hurt by somebody, we could stop and pause and think, oh no, but I've done worse to them. And so, no, I can probably easily forgive you for this little small infraction that we went through. I'm not saying that people don't do crappy stuff, man. I've had crappy stuff done to me over the last couple of years. It's been difficult to forgive people. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's necessary. It's necessary for your standing with God. It's necessary for your mental health. It's necessary for your spiritual health to learn how to forgive people quickly. Don't sit on it. But that's my word of encouragement for you today. Learn how to forgive quickly. And I hope that's encouraging for you. I hope it ruminates with you as you go throughout the weekend. Maybe somebody came to mind when I was talking about this. And if so, forgive them. Walk through the process of forgiveness and actual forgiveness. Forgiveness in a way where it can maintain the relationship. I know it's hard. I know it might not be safe, but it's necessary. And so think about it. If you disagree, let me know. Hit me up. My email will be in the description box. Please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And let me know if you need anything. But until then, love y'all. Grace and peace.